Here we are. It's Thursday. It's the Lunchbox, and it's a live remote edition coming to you from Wicked Cheesesteaks at 4826 North Federal Highway in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, right across from Holy Cross Hospital, which is my hospital when my when I need servicing. But here we are. We're back, and
Yes,
Jeff
sir.
Defo DeForest is back too. Give us a full medical update. Are you out of the toe protocol? Or
no, there's a long way to go here, but there's not much you can do about it except hope that it heals up properly. The initial report after 1 week of treatment, took a bunch of antibiotics. I had an anti-inflammatory, stayed off of it pretty much, wearing this weirdo shoe, was positive, very positive. The swelling had gone down significantly. It doesn't look like there's any infection. Still broken in a couple of places, but it looked like the breaks were healing cleanly. So I'm going to go back for another reevaluation. I'm like Anthony Davis. I'm going to go back for a reevaluation next week, and maybe I can get out there and run with LeBron sometime before the season is over.
Well, so if you're like Anthony Davis, it means you're going to be sitting on the bench wearing sweatpants instead of you doing your walk of life, which I know makes you a very
I'm going to attempt
grumpy...
to walk today with the black shoe on. And Dr.
Really?
Jerry Perlmutter, my good
How
buddy.
far can you walk?
Well, he told me walk as much as you want until you can't tolerate it anymore. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a test. That's what I
don't know about that whole thing.
I'm going to try 1 mile today, half mile out, half mile back.
I think that is way too much. I think you should start with a half mile and see how it feels. Because
I'm going to start with a half mile, but if I can't go any further, then I'll be stuck a half mile away from home. I'll have to Uber
then you
back.
have to Uber back, which
but I don't bring my phone, so I'll have to hope somebody
then
gives
you
me a
could do
ride.
the old hitchhiking days.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
I used to be able to hitchhike.
Man, that's the first person.
In fact, on a New Year's Eve, many years ago, my two buddies and I that were down from Syracuse hitchhiked back from Miami, all the way to Syracuse
without getting killed.
You know what? That was back in the era where, you would see a VW bus, and if they didn't stop, you would throw eggs at them because they obviously weren't part of the hippy-dippy movement.
Man, you're not cool. You're one of those old.
We ended up somewhere,
cats.
some small town. The cops actually picked us up on the side of the road, and they asked us what we were doing. We told them, and they took us to a hotel and put us up for the night.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so
different.
That was a different era, my friend.
And it must not have been in the rural South Carolina, because I don't know how they take to your country.
It might have been. You know what? They might not have recognized that.
Well, he's not
hippies.
gonna
Two
say
of
his
us were
background.
Jewish, and one guy was just a regular goyim. But
I'm not going to say
the other thing, I mean, we started out. Some guy had suggested to us, instead of hitchhiking on the highways, we go to this small airport and try to see if anybody's flying by themselves. Maybe they'll take us, to wherever they're going, and it'll be far less of a trip. So guess what airport it was that we ended up at? I didn't know anything about it at the time, but it was North Perry Airport, where every other plane crashes.
Right, and you survived. You made it out alive without getting hit by either falling debris from one of those.
Well, we couldn't talk anybody into it.
planes,
There was one guy that said 3 days from now he was going to Delaware. He would take us, but we figured by then we would be dead meat, so we would have a better chance of just hitchhiking. So we ended up doing that. We made it back.
That's
made
good.
it all the way to Syracuse.
Well, we made it to Wicked Cheesesteaks for our monthly appearance, and I love it here. And
is this Hank Goldberg that's
Brian
involved with
is
the
going to be
soda?
hooking us up. Brian here, the owner of Wicked Cheesesteaks, he loves his root beers and also kind of these gourmet sodas. So he has a full case, and we always stop by. And this time,
when was the last time you had a cream soda?
Well, I think sometimes
that was a big soda in my childhood.
I love the cream soda from Dr. Brown's. It would
Dr.
be. I would
was
alternate. I was a black cherry, and I go back to cream. Never do the celery. That seemed like a very old man kind of thing. But
the celery soda,
which
was
big.
awful. Yeah,
I like
really
pickle juice, but not so much the celery soda. But no, this is genuine Hank's gourmet vanilla cream soda. I think
nice.
Hank's is from.
I'm hoping that's for the full serving.
I'm looking at it.
Calories.
I think it's around the. I think it's a Pennsylvania thing, but I could be making that up. I don't see anything on the bottle because my eyes are so bad right now. But we'll just say in tribute and honor of Hammering Hank Goldberg. You've got a black cherry. I've got a vanilla cream.
Black cherry.
What do you got there?
A treat.
I don't know where that's
since 1918.
Since from where?
It doesn't say where.
All right, we gotta do some digging. And
it's real cane sugar. So
low sodium, very low sodium.
Real cane sugar.
Caffeine free.
60
Orfield,
calories.
PA. Orfield, PA.
Okay, you got a Pennsylvania soda. I think I got a Pennsylvania soda here. And
this just says from the good old USA.
This is a cheesesteak / lobster roll place because Brian is from Maine and his wife is from the Philadelphia area. So why not have the best of both worlds? And we're going to be doing that later today. He's going to be making us a new creation, a new cheesesteak. He's calling it the Italian Stallion. It's got, some pepperoni and some marinara and some cheese and some sausage.
Yes.
It sounds like a flavor bomb.
Yes.
It sounds like the Wicked Cheesesteak equivalent of the pizza spots, bacon and hot cherry pepper pizza. But and then he's also making a lobster quesadilla for us. But meanwhile, looks like we're going to go into diabetic
we got
coma
the black and
overload.
How they
whites. Wow,
start.
I
He
love
sent out
those.
these
Yeah.
black and white
Each one.
Which
cookies.
part do you eat first?
I'm
You go vanilla
kind of
first to
I-
save the chocolate,
I
or
do
the other way?
vanilla.
I'm gonna
and then
show you
chocolate
the
later.
Mayo technique.
Yeah.
You see
You go
this?
right down the middle.
It's the yin and
Oh,
the
right
yang.
down the middle.
Oh my God, Mayo is.
My goodness! Wow.
He loves
Okay.
messing with
Oh,
his
wow.
stomach.
So you get it both, right?
That's fresh. I think it's
Are you
fresh.
going to share
Brian-
that with Lubie, or
No,
We all
that's
get our
fair.
own, I guess. I don't
And
really need a whole.
you know
one,
his
but
style, Lubie?
I know.
do
Yeah.
like the mix. I do like the frosting on my face.
No, those things are good. I had one last time we were
and
here.
I do like the diabetic shock. So
Yeah.
between the full-on cane sugar Hank's Gourmet vanilla cream soda and a freshly baked, Brian's a baker. He
Mhm.
has a commercial bakery outfit that
Mhm.
provides breads and baked goods to a lot of restaurants around town. So the man has many talents.
Yes.
Yes.
And his biggest talent is recognizing the greatness of the Lunchbox show. So I'm so happy that
He was on board from the start. I
Yeah.
know. And still, it's always weird to be recognized as somebody that, don't you work with Mike Mayo?
That's my favorite
After
thing.
years of, being, somewhat involved in the radio and television game down here. And, so right away recognized me from this show. And, the rest is history. He signed up right
shows-
away and said, hey, come on out here. I want you guys to talk
And
about me.
treats is
It
great.
goes
And
to
then on
sh-
top of that, he's got his own hot sauce.
Yeah, the hot
Yes.
sauce is good. He gifted me a bottle of this a couple of months ago, and I have it in my cupboard. And I am.
How does it
putting-
compare to others?
It's good. It's
Yeah.
cayenne. It's a little hot. It's got some good flavor. I put it on my eggs. Sometimes I put a dash in my pasta. Sometimes on my Skyline chili when I get my frozen Skyline chili.
I would put all the
Publix.
flavor I could on that. I mean,
Oh.
anything that you could
So
use to
well,
give it some flavor.
me and you are here. I'm a little my OCD is kicking in.
What's the matter?
Well, I'm kind of a big Stanley Kubrick fan, and he was the master of the perfectly symmetrical shot. And
Yeah.
when I'm looking at
Yeah,
us
this is
now,
stressing me out.
we
We're
are
a little out
off
of balance
center.
here, yeah,
so
yeah.
I think
I
I have to
don't
go.
know. I
What
want
do you
you
do?
to- I want
look the
Defo to
best,
move
so,
over, and
I
you
gotta
gotta
go
move
this
over.
way.
Yeah.
Defo, we all gotta go.
Defo needs to move over.
we all-
and
I need
you
to move over?
Yeah, we all gotta shift one foot to the right,
There were people,
Right.
and
we can
then
move it
if
all.
I get totally centered, yeah, that's it. Okay,
That's
now
better?
much
Okay.
better.
There were
I'm not
people
breaking
eating
into
there. I don't
high.
wanna
Can I
take
lean
up
on his
all of
chair? Is
Brian's
that the
tables.
blame? No.
Oh, since when do you have any regard for others in a
I
restaurant where
do.
we're
That's
setting
the
up?
thing.
That's-
I actually, I hate it, but I actually do. We want them to get their thing going when we're here.
We're
so.
closer to center now. I feel centered. I feel
There you go.
balanced. My yin and yang and my
But,
chocolate cookie is out of balance. now. I
you,
gotta
you
take a
have
bath.
a major fetch that you got involved in on your Let's Eat South Florida. And then I saw your first time, you're like Elon Musk. You put like a limitation on the number of people that
No,
can
and
comment
then
on this.
one of the other admins gave it the boot. He can't stand the dog fight posts.
That's been up there
Why?
before, though. That's been debatable.
I guess
on
it's been
Let's Eat South Florida.
it's
Worked
been one
to
of those
death.
topics where it got played out. It used to be one of those things that before the pandemic, it seemed like people would try to post about it every other day.
Yeah.
And we had enough of it, and we put basically put a moratorium on the dog in restaurant.
Is
posts.
anything new or particularly enlightening, said when these things are repeated over and over again? Because
No,
the
it's
other
just-
hot topic was, should they add an automatic gratuity after they factor in the tax?
that was the other thing I posted, which is still up there. Which those seems like anytime.
Which, if you
there's-
think about it, what if you were tipping? Let's say you were tipping 20% just to make the math easy, and there was a $6 tax. So what are we talking about
6%
there?
tax.
We're talking
Like,
about $1.20.
the
Okay.
the tax, in my world, the tax should not be computed on any kind of tip or even if it's an automatic gratuity. But there might be a state law where if the restaurant calls it a service charge. instead of a gratuity,
Yeah.
that might be taxable.
Here's
I
the
think
thing,
that's
though.
the
Think about
law.
this.
It's very complicated. Now, there are
Logically,
statutes,
it's
and
stressing me
people
out.
actually
But when you
lobby
get a
about
check
these
at a
things.
restaurant, okay, you go to the
Right.
Cafe Seville,
Wait.
and the bill is $150.
Yes.
All right. That includes the tax, and I'm thinking, okay, I start calculating at like 30% usually, but
Oh, for the tip.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'll throw the tip
you
on
usually
everything. Yeah, I
tipping.
mean,
you're usually
the
tipping on the tax
wine,
anyway.
the booze, the
So why are
everything.
people so upset about the fact
Because
that
they're cheap
that is?
and anal, and they just love to argue about pennies or dollars, and never mind the fact that they now have to spend like $100 a head to go out to dinner. It's like,
Or get a drink at the airport.
we're gonna go back to that.
I love when
I've
you
never
obsess
seen
over things. Yeah,
two
no.
people argue about something that they
We
agree
weren't
on.
They
arguing.
had
No,
the
you
same
made up an
opinion.
argument. You're
Well,
like
people
perfect. You
seem
should be
to
back in
think that
sports
we were-
talk. You just
we were-
fabricated an argument.
There was a lot of friction, even though we both
no
Yes.
agreed.
friction. I mean, I thought
say
you were
there's
like
no
out of
friction.
your
There was
mind.
friction right now.
Zero friction.
When you say there's no friction, it's like there's
You
no-
create imaginary friction. I'm fine.
Yes,
This is
Mayo
a
does
1-hour
like
show. We've
to
done 8 million shows, Louie and I.
Make it
We're doing this
contentious.
over a year now. There's zero friction.
Yeah,
We're
well,
talking
I'm
about
not a big
food.
contention
We're
guy.
having fun. I mean,
We are, and
yeah.
we're on the lunchbox. It's Thursday. It's kind of that holiday gap week where it
Yes.
seems like the roads are definitely clearer this week.
Yes.
People are not in
It's
school.
been very quiet. Very
People
quiet.
are not in going to work. There
Yeah.
are a lot of tourists in town. I see a lot of people
Yeah,
out and
the east
about.
side.
Just drove by
really
the Even
busy.
Keel, Lauderdale by to see him. My way here, packed people
Good.
all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I
like
know
a
those
really good
guys.
vibe going on.
We're
Yeah.
looking for some warmer and drier weather, and thank goodness Brad and Dave got it because last
Doesn't
week
bode well for an outdoor restaurant in Florida when iguanas are dropping out of the heating lamps. Yeah.
not only that, but they're also pretty soggy because it was wet and
Wet, yeah,
miserable
exactly. It
last
was raining
weekend.
too.
Last weekend was a weekend fit for somebody.
Have
in
you ever
London.
eaten iguana?
You know what?
Mr.
I was
Adventurer.
when I was
You did?
still at the
Oh,
Sun
my God.
Sentinel, the food writer there, and eating iguanas first became this kind of thing that
Tastes like chicken.
this one of the summer interns wrote about it, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, as the food critic, I got to go and taste
Oh,
one and
no.
give a description. Well, as fate would have it, the iguana barbecue feast that I had been invited to, that I'd set up and was
Iguana
going to write
barbecue
about.
feast.
Yeah, it was in a backyard of somebody out in I think it was Plantation or Lauderhill. Well, it was one
Had
of
to be
those.
out there by like State Road 27.
Yeah, no, it was in
You
the
know,
middle
with
of
guys
the
with
middle of the
shotguns
county.
on the back of their truck.
It
No,
was, but it was one of these blessings where it was a summer afternoon where the big thunderstorm rolled in, and it was one of them. It wasn't just a
wiped
quickie.
out the barbecue.
It wiped
Good.
out the barbecue, and then I saw pictures of what skinned iguanas going onto a barbecue look like, and I said, you know what? I think
Is
like-
it any different than frog?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think it is, because frog is actually a delicacy, and you see it now not only at French restaurants but at Vietnamese restaurants, and
Yeah.
they do taste like chicken. The frog legs is
It's
Yeah,
a big
frog
thing in
legs is
Thailand,
solid.
also, isn't it? Frogs?
no, well,
No?
it's mainly
Overseas.
Vietnam because it was a French colonial place, and
Okay.
the French were the ones who first started eating frog legs. I've never been
That's
to
why
Thailand.
they, unfortunately,
I
I
was
mean,
in
it's
Thailand.
not
I
meant in
don't
any
remember eating
disparaging
frog.
way, but
no, I
we're
just
referred to as frogs.
right. Oh well, no. So the frog's legs are good. I can attest
like
to that
frog
because I've
legs.
eaten them.
Yes.
I have never eaten iguana. And then
Yeah.
when people would chime in on the group when I said I was going to eat them and I wanted to try it, and they said, oh, there could be diseases. You don't know what they're eating with the pesticides because they eat a lot of leaves and
Plus, who
things
knows
like
what
that.
it tastes like, man? First bite.
I don't know.
Who needs it?
I was supposed to do it. I was going to be adventurous, and then I wasn't so eager to go and reschedule
I don't
the
blame you.
barbecue. So
I pass on that.
one thing that I still haven't eaten, I have eaten horse meat. I have eaten ants. I have eaten silkworms and grasshoppers and all kinds
Thank
of things.
God we're here at Wicked Cheesesteaks. You don't have to endure any of that.
Well,
we're going to be talking
I
about
got-
some great sandwiches,
I
pizzas, and
gotta
wings.
say, you don't have the most adventurous palate. I guess I do. roam
Is that
to the-
adventurous or Meshuggah? What would you say, Louie? I mean,
I
you
think
were
somewhere
pretty
in the
picky.
middle.
I mean, you didn't try a lot of stuff back in the day.
I
Now,
think in the middle somewhere. I have not had horse, and I don't know if I could actually do that. I have had frog legs. I do like gator. Gator tail is really
gator
good.
bites.
Gator bites are good.
Yep.
And when I was in Thailand, they did have the bugs that were like a snack that were literally in like a potato chip bag,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
like and they were bugs.
zero insects.
And they
for me.
tasted fine.
High
I
in
mean-
protein. High in protein. Cheap to
Protein?
produce.
You're
We might
eating
be.
insects for protein? Come on,
Yeah,
Michael.
well, it might be the way of the
Go
world
get a steak
soon.
somewhere. I
If-
mean, there's any number of great places.
I was going to ask, have you ever eaten Rocky Mountain oysters?
No.
And
Was
you know what
cow
that
chips?
is?
Yeah.
No, well, it's bull testicles.
Bull.
Bull's
testicles.
testicles.
Yes.
Yeah. And you've
Also,
done that.
I have tried it when I went to the
Cover a
Colorado
Bronco
and
game,
Denver.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say I want to
There's
do
no
that
better
again.
food you would want to try there. in
There's a
Denver?
lot
I mean,
better food. I
drink a couple of Coors Lights and think
And
about
I
it.
like elk steaks and venison and things like that you find out
Yeah.
in those Western rugged.
gamey meats.
Which ones?
Gamey meats. I
Gamey
mean,
meats.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you put it in a
Venison.
stew or chili. Actually, the elk. I had elk steaks one time at Casa D'Angelo earlier this year. It was actually one of my best meals and bites because elk steaks, not gamey at all. It's actually a perfect combination of very lean meat and the elk chops. It comes out kind of, if imagine a cross between very, lean, delicious filet mignon and also like a kind of a lamb chop thing.
Yeah.
So it's got just a little bit hint of flavor. I wouldn't call it gaminess. And he grilled it perfectly and served it with this cherry gastrique. So it kind of had a little bit of acidity and fruit to go along with the elk steak. It was delicious. It was good.
All right.
So
wouldn't
that's
necessarily be my go-to item if I was perusing the
Of
menu
course
there
not.
at Casa
Hey,
D'Angelo.
before
Yeah.
and all right, so this morning on the Let's Eat group, the dogs were, I let the dogs out for a little bit. Somebody shut the door because it raced up to 300 comments, and I said I was going to turn off the commenting at 500, and then one of the admins,
people rebelled against that.
one of the other admins just was like, no, he just pulled the plug on the whole thing. But I just love that picture of the little doggy being wheeled around in
It's a
the
cute
stroller.
dog, yeah.
Don't like that at all.
And it just drives people crazy inside
like it at all.
restaurants. I don't know. I've kind of come around in my thinking. It used to really bother me. And I used to be of the sort like, when did we become so what's the big word, anthropomorphize or whatever? That's a big
Make
SAT
animals
word.
humans.
Give animals human qualities. They
Yeah.
become family members.
Yeah, yeah.
We call them fur babies. We take them out and about, either
Have you had a
in
dog?
knapsacks. I've never owned a dog in
never
my
had a
life,
dog.
and I
Okay.
love
That
dogs.
changes
You're a
things,
dog
yeah.
lover,
Dog lover, yeah.
but
You
you
have
think
an
they don't
animal
belong
change.
anywhere near a restaurant.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, if somebody wheeled that same dog in here and went to the bathroom in the back and rolled by us, it wouldn't upset me at all. I'm not a big fan. I mean, a giant dog lover. I'm not a big fan necessarily of dogs in restaurants, only because.
How about dogs
a lot-
playing poker? Do you like dogs?
Well, I mean, you could, as I was saying before, you could get a sandwich or a to-go item and take them to the dog park. That'd be fine.
Oh, you're saying
Yes.
with the dog?
If
Okay.
you want to spend time like
If
that.
we're
but-
outdoors, if there's outdoor seating, like a
Yes.
place like the pizza spot, I
and
don't
also
mind
if the
somebody
place
has
is
the
known
pooch.
for that,
Yeah.
like okay, everybody brings their dog to the
There
show.
are
Yeah.
there are some
Indoors,
restaurants
it wears
that
me
are
out.
dog friendly. They are known for being dog. Thank you for the
Speaking
black
of
and
friendly,
whites. Those are delicious.
Wow, look out.
We got Brian here. Oh, he's not even on camera. He's so
He
bashful.
can. He
He's
never
got
wants
his
to be.
Grateful Dead T-shirt on. He's got his Bo
Thank you,
Sox
sir.
Boston Red Sox cap on,
I'll send them down.
and he's got
Chow line
the
here.
new lobster
Thanks.
quesadilla.
Good to see you, man.
All
Yeah.
good. Thank you for everything.
I ran
he's
into
got-
Brian
he's-
at the
he's-
car dealership the other day. Yeah.
This
He's
is a
explaining it's a lobster
quesadilla.
quesadilla. It's new on the menu.
It's not on the menu.
Not
yet.
on the menu yet, but they're playing around with it. They're trying to get my seal of approval. And then
I think you should dig in first.
Well, I'm going to dig in.
Now, are you
This
going
looks
hot
great.
sauce on that or
I'm
no?
going to go
That
first.
chicken quesadilla that we had here the last
Was
time we were here was
amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely
look at this
dynamite.
thing.
That
All
was
right, I don't know if
amazing.
anybody can see it, but thank
I'm
you,
in
Brian.
on this.
We've got the lobster quesadilla, nice cheesy, and he makes this beautiful shell where it's completely
Yeah,
nice
I mean,
baked, greaseless. It's just nice and crunchy. And you know me and the crunch. We've got some sour cream here. So here's the way
we'll
I'm
try
going
to
to go.
bite straight up.
I'm
here.
going to do a bite with a little sour cream first, and I'm going to go in with this.
Mm.
Oh,
Wow.
good. And we got the Wicked sauce.
Wow.
Cayenne
Yeah,
sauce.
actually, I think the sauce is probably.
That
a
is
bit more.
great.
Yeah, you know what?
That
It's
is
a great bite.
Yeah.
It's cheesiness, it's lobsterness, it's good
Yeah.
quality seafood.
That might be the best
then-
quesadilla of any
Mhm.
type.
He
I've
makes
ever
great
had. That is
quesadillas.
fantastic.
It's really funny.
Brian
Like this
is
place,
getting it
Wow.
done.
it's a
I'm
lobster
dripping
plate,
my
lobster
cayenne
roll.
sauce.
Because he
Philly
uses,
cheesesteak, but-
obviously real lobster, and the guy's cracking
And
like 800
what kind of
lobsters
cheese in
a
here?
bag.
Is this mozzarella? What's Mexican
Mexican
blend? So it's like a
blend.
3-cheese blend of like is it Asiago and the cheddar and Monterey Jack or something maybe. I'm just making it up at this point, but it does taste like a really
I
good
don't know. It's a nice
good
mix.
melt, good flavor with the
Really good.
lobster,
Yeah.
and the crunchy wrap is perfect. I'm going in again for bite number
Well,
one.
what I like about the lobster is a lot of the time when you try to cook lobster different ways, they overcook it and it sort of loses some of its lobsterness. He knows how the way that they cook the lobster,
That's
no matter
fresh.
what way we've had it, whether mac and cheese, the lobster roll. Now in this, you still get the lobster flavor and it's not overdone.
That's a perfect description. It maintains the integrity of the lobster consistency
Yeah.
and the flavor.
And the flavor.
that's a trick
Real
because
good.
a lot of times when it gets
Yeah.
baked into something, whether
Mhm.
it's lobster mac and cheese or a lobster quesadilla, like you said, it becomes a mushy, flavorless thing. This is not. It
Really
has
great,
distinct, just distinct, nice chew and a nice flavor. I definitely get that hit of the sea and the lobster. With
Have
the
you seen a
cheese.
lobster quesadilla on many menus?
I've never seen it
I wouldn't
Not
say no to
lately.
that. Lobster ravioli, pretty common.
Lobster ravioli, we've
Lobster
had
mac
here.
is
Lobster
big
mac
deal.
and cheese,
Sometimes.
obviously,
Big
is
deal.
huge in a lot of
And,
places.
rolls have
and
exploded.
it's all good. And
This is great.
I am napkinless now, and I'm
Wait,
just
that's yours, that's yours.
I'm a greasy mess, but that's okay. Hey, speaking of not
All right, so what was the conclusion on the dog thing?
well, the conclusion of the dog thing is the dogs got yanked out the door.
Yeah.
But my thinking has changed. I said it's up to the establishment. Some people are saying that there's a state law that dogs, unless it's a service
It's gotta be
dog,
a
are
service
not
animal, yeah.
allowed inside.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's the case. I think they might not be allowed.
The service
anywhere
dog thing is a
near
bunch
a
of baloney.
bar or a
Yeah.
table or a kitchen area, but I have no idea if they're completely barred from being indoors. A lot of people come up with these bogus service animal
Yes.
certificates.
No, I mean,
anyway.
That's
I
my
have two
problem,
dogs. They're
Mr.
far
Service
from
Animal
being
Man.
service animals. I'm servicing them the entire time. They
Yes.
do nothing for me except, keep me awake at night. And I had to qualify them as service dogs because in the place that we bought our current residence in, you're only allowed to have one dog unless it's a service dog.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. And to get a dog qualified as a service dog, you actually have to go to like a shrink and get some kind of certification from somebody that certifies that you're out of your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
And that without
You
this
need the
dog, you
dog.
won't be able to function. And then, it's obviously
with the dog, a lot of people can't function.
I was
either.
gonna
with
say, the
feed.
dog.
Yeah. But as much as I love dogs, I would say that
There's a time and a place for everything.
well,
Yes.
I'm sensitive to the dog also. I mean, I'll give you an example. There was a guy used to bring his dog into the Funky Biscuit while they were doing these loud music shows
Yeah, he
in
can't
a
have that.
very crowded, tight place where,
That's the
it's
wrong
pretty
time
easy
and
to step
place.
on
Yes.
somebody, never mind an animal that you're not aware is on the floor. And I thought, well, this dog can't be enjoying this all that much. I mean, would you not have been better off
It's a
just
good
leaving
cheese
the
pull.
dog
The
at
cheese
home?
pull's pretty strong.
And I'm sympathetic to the idea that, the people, might need the dog or whatever, or they can't leave it alone. But, you have to make adjustments, and if it's bothering a lot of people, then it's probably a good idea to keep them out of there, no?
No, and our friend Josie has Tasso, who's become a star, and he goes to places that are dog friendly, that are knowingly dog friendly. And he was contemplating coming out today, and he said, "Well, is there any outdoor
Look out.
seating?"
Oh,
And I
this is-
said, "Well,
want
we
to
do
put
the show
cheese in, don't get
indoors,
in.
and there's a couple of tables outdoors, but it's mainly an indoor joint." So, he said, "Oh, I'll just come out to Pizza Spot next week for the big jarred spaghetti sauce tasting that is on. We're going to do it next Tuesday." Oh, meanwhile, we
Right,
just
have
got
these.
hit with another new product
I'm good
that's
for now.
coming on the menu.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to try one of these.
I'm-
This is the
yeah.
cheesesteak egg roll.
Might be a big
And,
to-go order
I
today.
actually sampled a little bit of one of these before the show
If
today.
they
Oh,
give us
yeah.
extra whiz to
Brian
dunk
makes
in.
this from scratch. He buys the kind of the egg roll wrappers at a local provisions store, but makes the cheesesteak filling. And this also is absolutely outstanding. What has he got there? Like a dunking
That's
a
cheese
cheese
whiz,
whiz?
yeah.
No,
I don't
keep
think
the
you
cheese
need
whiz
it,
away
but
from
I
me.
felt like I'd go all the way in.
Cheesesteak egg roll, another new item here
Yeah,
at
it's great.
Wicked Cheesesteaks. And again, this is North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard. The address is 4826 North Federal, right across from Holy Cross Hospital. And it is a dynamite place because they've got the cheesesteaks, they've got the lobster rolls, and now lobster quesadillas. And they also have pizza, which is they do a nice job. And today is pizza day. I think they have a 12-inch special for $8.99.
$8.99.
You can't beat that deal. And also, you see above us, they also have larger sizes for a little bit more.
Great hot sauce, by the way.
His
Great
Wicked,
hot sauce.
cayenne hot sauce is great.
Really good. Yeah.
So to put a capper on the dogs,
Yeah.
I say that it should be, up to each establishment. And if you are either a dog lover and wants to bring a dog everywhere, or a dog not so, you don't think dogs belong in inside restaurants or even outside restaurants, I say each establishment has the right to make up their own policy. And then whichever the side of the fence you're on, you make a decision whether you want to go to that place or not. And then again, it's all about freedom of choice. People are saying, "Oh, well, what if my husband is very allergic to dogs, and why should he have to suffer if a place allows dogs around and inside?" And it's like, well, you know what?
Some people don't want a panting dog like breathing on
I
their
just
food
don't-
either,
I understand that, but then it basically becomes, if a place allows the panting dog next to you and you are allergic, then you know what? as the Greater Fort Lauderdale and Visit Lauderdale people say, over 4,000 restaurants in the
Exactly.
Greater Fort Lauderdale area.
Exactly.
Choose one that fits your needs when it comes to the dog policy. So
If somebody sat down next to us, Michael, I mean, just and they had 2 dogs, and they started barking and creating a ruckus, and then one of them was a big dog, and he started licking your kneecap while you're sitting here doing a show. You would have to say that that's a bit of an intrusion on, your experience where you're coming to eat some nice food, maybe talk with your friends.
Yep.
It can be a hassle.
now we're going to argue again.
Yeah.
I never said
Yeah.
that I'm okay with a
Yeah,
dog that doesn't know its boundaries or an owner that doesn't know how to control a dog.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting here, I'm eating all this great food.
Yeah.
Right.
My lobster quesadilla.
You don't want
my
Fido coming over and grabbing the last piece.
Like if
That's
the
my
dog is in the corner and minding its business,
Yeah, fine.
I'm just gonna focus on my experience and enjoy my meal.
Yeah.
However, if that dog starts coming over and jumps in my lap and starts
Yeah.
eating the food off my plate
Yeah,
and starts licking me, I might start licking it, and I'm gonna say, "Get out of
Well,
here!"
you will eat anything.
Yeah, watch that.
I meant that with no double
That was a
entendres
joke. That was a
attached,
joke.
yeah.
No,
That was a
so
joke.
I become a bit more lenient because I see how dependent people have become on their
Animals,
dogs. I think we have a whole mental health crisis in this country, as sometimes there's a lot of people who really do have these anxiety attacks, and they need
Animal
these
calms them down,
animals.
yeah.
And okay, so
But there's a time and a place. I
Right.
mean, when I do my walk of life, I see, at least a dozen dogs, maybe more, in the trek. And I love every dog. I'm so happy for the owner. I usually say something about how cute the dog is or whatever. Big fan of the dog's faces. But, there you're expecting to encounter this sort of thing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
outside of the park,
Right.
I don't even know about the beach anymore. Are dogs allowed on the beach? And
It's limited.
should be leashed.
Very limited.
there should be dog beaches.
Yeah.
Well, let's put a wrap on the dog talk. The other thing that I posted about this morning was something we alluded to the other day, and I got to give you an apology.
Yeah.
Because I was arguing a little bit about how much I hate both Maduros, the sweet plantains that are fried, along with the tostones, and I stand corrected.
It's un-American and un-Latin American to not like.
I was gonna say, who doesn't like
plantains.
Maduros?
So
I mean, they're great. The only thing is, you have one, and you're thinking
That's
there
the
are
problem.
4
You
more
want
left
4 or
there,
5.
and I just gained 8 pounds
Yeah.
by eating this greasy fried banana.
Yeah, it's not the
and
greatest
yet
thing for you, but
You know you're going to eat them all.
as
Yes.
somebody said on the group this morning when I asked which are you, the Maduros or the tostones, and they said Maduros, and when I eat one, it goes straight to my ass. And,
Honestly.
Eternal Eat City, yeah.
honestly,
So
Yeah.
no, I stand corrected because I was saying that I dislike both. That it's the Maduros, which is the sweet plantains
Yes.
that you get on the side at a lot of the Cuban restaurants, along
Yes.
with the rice and beans, and then your lechon asado or your ropa vieja.
whatever you're. Yes.
Like I thought I was opposed to them, but then last night I had occasion to go to a Latin restaurant
Yeah.
up in Del Rey, Cabana El Rey, and they brought out a
Dick
plate
Steen again?
with Dick Steen,
Dick Steen? All right.
Obviously.
and
You always got to mention him.
yeah, Dick Steen, he's good,
Wow.
and
So he picked up another tab, man.
this one kind of
what a beautiful guy.
this one came on the house because my friend, a longtime
friend's
high
the
school
owner,
buddy,
yeah,
is
yeah.
a part owner, and then words got out that I was coming in, and they ended up comping us the meal. We tipped generously, but that was it was a beautiful thing, and I could not resist eating the Maduros. I had one, and I was
I would
like,
hope so.
"These are good," and I
Yeah.
was like, "I owe Defo an apology
Stuff's great.
because they're good."
It's a very rich compliment that you're
Yeah,
not
it's great.
expecting it to be as tasty
And
No,
it-
they're
it's
amazing.
like
as
having-
it is. A compliment to, especially like in a Cuban restaurant where you're
Yep.
eating like a lot of onions, maybe on
Yeah.
a
Yep.
batted down, a flattened piece of chicken breast.
Yes.
Fantastic. I mean, with the
Last
rice and
night,
beans, amazing.
It was
Maduro
interesting
is
because
amazing.
instead of having like a lot of times you see that pollo, the chicken breast pounded
Yeah, la
down with the
plancha.
onion.
I love
Yeah.
that.
This one,
Padrinos did it great.
instead of
Pollo a la
having
plancha.
the masas de puerco, the chicharrones, like the fried
The
pork cubes.
Yes, the pork. Yes.
I guess because of the clientele up there, they don't have a lot of pork dishes, and
that's
instead
interesting.
of having the pork chunks fried,
Chicken.
they had like chicken thigh, a little bit on the bone, kind of the style that's I don't even know how you call it, but it's like
Gala King kind of
yeah,
a
well, it's like but they fried it up on the
fricassee. I
outside.
think they call it like
No,
a
not
fricassee.
fricassee. That's
Okay.
like a shredded thing. But
Okay.
this is like they had the way they cut it was like a bone in the center of this dark meat kind of
Okay.
chicken thing, and they deep fry it, so it comes out crunchy.
I was like the pork,
But it's
with
dark
chicken.
meat. The same thing as the masses de puerco when we say the pollo, the chicken.
Yeah.
It was absolutely delicious.
really
I
good.
had that. I'd have a little rice and beans, and the rice and beans they serve there, not the typical ones you find down here in Miami, the white rice. They use the yellow rice that was a little bit fluffier.
I like yellow rice.
It was fluffy, and the black beans were great. And then I had that bite of the Maduro, and I was one happy fat man because it was like the perfect savory and sweet.
Where's this place at?
Right on Atlantic Avenue there, right next to Old School Square in downtown Delray Beach,
Nice.
the 100 East block of Atlantic Avenue, right across from where Elizabetta's restaurant and Rocco's Tacos is right across the street up there. And
sounds like a
Delray.
winner.
Nice.
It's a winner, and I
Just
can't believe.
open or
No, that's the thing. It's been there 18 years.
Oh, jeez.
yeah.
My buddy never even hounded me to go in there when I was the critic.
Restaurant, yeah.
And they opened actually original one of these Cabana El Rey in Forest Hill, Queens. So it was a New York restaurant, Latin Cuban restaurant, and then they brought it to downtown Delray 18 years ago in 2004. And I can't believe I walked past the place a million times. I'd never been in there. They've got like 120 seats outside, 180 inside, a nice bar. They do all these mojitos. They did this like fresh crushed blackberry mojito. It was fantastic.
Nice.
And I was really happy and blown away. And so thanks to everybody there, the managers, Mario and Christian, for taking great care of us.
No,
middle range.
Yeah.
You know,
like a
that's
nice shirt, probably
something where you get your appetizers anywhere from you get the black bean soup for $8, and then apps for $12 to $20, and then you've got your main courses from $18 to $30, $32.
Yeah, it's like a little bit nicer.
It's a nice setting, and they did a really nice job in there. So, but that brings me to the Tostones.
I've never been a fan.
I have not changed my mind on them. I just don't like Tostones. And these were prepared really nicely last night. Also crisp and greaseless, but it's like biting into
there's no flavor.
Like a hockey puck or something.
I like putting some hot sauce on them, and sometimes they'll use them to put meats on top, and those are pretty good. But just a Tostone by itself is sort of
it's
bland.
just like, and I know some people put like the garlic sauce
Yes,
and the,
that's
and
not
the
horrible.
ropa viejo or some of the
and it's good that
leche
way.
asado, but to me it's just like a meaningless base.
Yes.
I would rather have a nice piece of the pan de Cuban, the Cuban bread,
like
they did serve that last night, like flattened toasted Cuban bread.
Oh yeah, no, that's great.
And that was good.
By the way, this hot sauce has that same kind of lingering effect that we got when we were at the Hen and the Hog.
Oh yeah,
where the smoke kind of like lingered on perfectly, and but it wasn't overwhelming, so
it's good.
Yeah, very, very.
It's got
satisfying.
flavor.
Yeah,
I think we got
that was some true. I mean, chunks of lobster in it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no,
this
was
is
never
not any
chintzy.
kind of
I'll give him credit.
where maybe you see the slither of what used to be the claw, that little red piece that nobody wants, that you always try and go, boy, that doesn't taste all that good, but you eat it anyway because the lobster was like $50.
Yeah,
but very generous with the lobster chunks.
Yeah, they give you a nice portion.
That's a hit. That's a hit.
Lobster
Quesadilla.
I'm chewing on it now. Nice flaky crust. This quesadilla shell is also like the finest.
It's kind of cool too that Brian
tasty.
tries new stuff. I mean, he could go with the basics that he was serving, very successful with. I mean, he doesn't need to experiment in these other areas like with the egg rolls or the quesadillas, which the chicken quesadilla last time we had it was fantastic. But I mean, his staples are the pizza, wings, and the cheesesteak sandwiches. And he's always trying new stuff.
He's trying new stuff,
cool.
and that's the sign of a good creative chef. And I'm going to proclaim this the best lobster quesadilla I've ever eaten in my life.
Is it the first one?
My first.
No, I've had
you've had a lobster
I've
quesadilla?
had it at some really fancy places too, and they
Nice.
come out a little mushy.
Little schminky,
This is again because I think he finishes it off in that pizza oven. It makes it perfect crisp.
That's
so,
a crisp.
Job well done.
Before we go to break, Joanne asked the question, what and I find it interesting when people are like in South Florida and they still aren't aware of some things that I just assumed everyone knew. But tostones, so plantains, you can have them green or you can have them when they're really well done and dead.
Yellow.
And you would normally throw it out.
The riper the banana.
No, but you don't want them yellow. No, you want them dead to the world. Okay. And when they're dead to the world,
black on the outside.
Yes, black. Where normally gringos would throw them away. No, that's when you fry it, and that's when you actually, Defo was wrong. You don't need alcohol, you don't need sugar, you don't need anything. When they're dead to the world,
flambe Foster thing.
When they're dead to the world,
everything is better with alcohol.
You just fry it,
cooking philosophy,
and they're sweet and they're really good.
Yeah.
When they're green, what you can do is more savory, where you pound it, and you make a flat plantain, and then you fry it still, and that makes more like a crunchy. If you've ever seen the circular things that hockey puck looking, But
It's
thin,
just all
that's
crunch,
a tostone.
no flavor, and I just could do without it.
Yeah.
So
I've never been a fan.
I'm
You're
on.
waiting for
I am
Ovechkin
now
to put a
on
stick to it.
Team Maduro's Tostones. You're out. Hey,
All right.
what's not out, but
What's
what's
going on?
in is the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. That is
Yes.
coming up. I can't believe it's just like 2 weeks away.
Wow.
Going to be from January 9th through the 15th, taking place all over Fort Lauderdale. But we got some of the intimate dinners coming up. That's starting that Monday, the 9th, all the way through the end of that week. And then there's the big 3 events, which you're going to want to check out the full schedule and get your tickets by going to vlfoodwine.com. That's VL, like Visit Lauderdale, foodwine.com. Once you're on there, you'll see the full rundown of all the great events. And you're going to want to buy tickets to anything and everything, but particularly the big 3. That's the cocktail competition on Wednesday, January 11th, the Smithfield barbecue battle at the Hyatt Centric Hotel in downtown Fort Lauderdale on the evening of Friday, the 13th, and then the big grand tasting on Saturday, January 14th, taking place all afternoon at the Las Olas Beachfront Park at the corner of A1A and Las Olas Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. There'll be over 40 local restaurants represented, along with all kinds of wineries and distilleries, great bites and sips all days long. Go online, vlfoodwine.com. Buy your tickets for those 3 events. If you use the promo code Lunchbox, you'll get an extra 15% off the already low savings. Makes a perfect gift for the food lover in your life. Even though Hanukkah is past and Christmas has passed, Kwanzaa is here, so buy a Kwanzaa gift for the food lover in your
New
life.
Year's celebration.
And New Year's celebration. And just because, why not?
Good food,
it's going to
good
be a
wine.
great time. We're going to be out
We'll be
there.
there.
Some of the events, I'll be judging at several of them. And
Judge Judy over here is particularly harsh.
like
For
the
sure.
East German judge.
You
I
know
make
he's
my
gotta be
face.
like rough.
Nah, this is going to be great stuff. I'm looking forward to it. VLFoodWine.com. Get your tickets right now. And don't forget, use that promo code Lunchbox for extra savings.
All right, yeah, more coming up here from Wicked Cheesesteaks. Dynamite item introduced by Brian today, the lobster quesadilla, and
I
we're
could
waiting
eat
for
this
more
all
stuff.
day.
So we'll come back in a moment.
Good crunch, good cheese pull. You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent. Lunchbox remote
And
edition.
we're still eating.
We're still eating. I'm
Yeah.
crunching on my that cheesesteak egg roll is great. I had 2 pieces
It's
of
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
You know, I came in today saying I'm gonna have a salad. I need vegetables in my life, and look what
I think
happens.
they do
I am
stuff
just
like that
You
here,
know,
but
you
we're not
know,
eating it.
you always talk to us like we're clowns because we
No.
don't know what to order. You don't come in here and order a salad.
Well,
man.
you
This
could.
is Wicked
He has a good
Cheesesteaks, my
Greek salad
Yeah.
with chicken.
Yeah, it was nice.
I'm sure he
Yeah,
has a
it was
dynamite
nice.
salad, but you're Mike Mayo.
I know.
you know,
And
you
when
don't
he
come to Las
says-
Vegas, talk to a man like Mike Mayo like that.
You don't
Mike.
come to Wicked Cheesesteaks and not eat
That's
what
one of
the
the things,
owner is
yeah.
offering
Yeah.
a new menu item that he wants to get my
Which
seal of
blew you
approval.
away, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good.
Lobster quesadilla, unbelievably good.
You know, it's great. We have to compliment this
we got a
rather
couple of-
substantial family.
Yeah,
It looks like at least 3 kids, a husband and wife.
they're going
and,
up.
They're
to the
driving
Cheez-It
to
Bowl.
Orlando to see the Cheez-It Bowl, which is the ultimate distinction in food name
Well, it
bowl
makes
games.
sense. Like if you're from Oklahoma, yet you are Oklahoma/FSU fans, they rarely play. And if they do play, when is it going to be in the same game versus each other in a place you want to be?
No, and it's
Amazing.
great to see them.
And they're
you know,
from
So they
Oklahoma,
probably
these guys.
flew into South Florida
But
because
they
why do you
knew
want to go
about
to
Wicked
Orlando?
Cheesesteaks.
No, that's what I love is they flew into South Florida, probably spent
Yeah.
some time here because who wants to be in Orlando, and then we'll drive to the game.
And it's a
drive
split
back
family.
and fly
He
back.
he went to school undergrad at
FSU.
Tallahassee, and then the wife is.
It looks
from
like it's
Oklahoma. What has
divided
he
by
got there? He's
men
got-
and women.
He's
Oh, look at
coming
this.
bearing boxes.
Wow.
Is that the
That's
one for
ours.
us?
I
That's
think
our
that's ours,
pizza.
yeah,
it's
Oh,
ours.
from
Helping out.
Brian, but
I think they're
delivered
helping
by
out.
the football
Our
fans.
Oklahoma,
and,
our FSU
they're
Oklahoma.
But
all-
all the
they're
women
ready.
are Oklahoma fans, and all the guys
I
are
love
Florida
the
State
fact
fans.
that they're
Well,
going
the
to
wife-
the Cheez-It Bowl and they're gearing up for the game by going,
going
to
to Wicked
Is the
Cheesesteaks.
Cheez-It among your favorite
It's,
crackers?
you know, you
What would
think
you
it
say?
should be in Wisconsin or something like
Yeah.
that, the Cheese Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl, but no, it's
I'm
here
okay.
in Florida.
I'm curious though
Look
how
at
they
that
knew
little
about Wicked
pizza.
Their
Cheesesteaks. You
Oh,
guys have
standard
been here before?
cheese pizza.
Looks
Oh yeah, they
beautiful.
love this place.
He
Every
makes a
time they come
really
and see,
nice
they know good
pizza.
taste.
Look at that.
And because I haven't had enough cheese in my life
Yes.
today, and in honor of the upcoming Seminole
I
Sooner
think that's
battle
pretty
in
good, Mike,
Orlando in the Cheez-It Bowl,
Well,
I'm going to be
yeah.
cheesing it with some cheese pizzas.
Well, we're
Very
always
nice.
fans of
I'm not going to
deals.
eat it yet because I'm going to burn the roof of my mouth and I'll be
Yeah,
howling
that
in
thing's
pain.
dripping too.
In honor
that's good.
of today, they do $8.99.
$8.99 for a
cheese
12-inch
pizzas.
pie. One of these little, I guess you could call it personal pie, but you can
Nah,
split
it's
it with
bigger
a
than a
friend
personal
or a
You
date.
know, most people aren't eating that whole
This
thing by
would
themselves.
No, most people
My
aren't.
wife and I
Yeah.
would share this. Yes,
Oh man! All
Remember
right.
when you could eat like a whole large pizza from
Never.
some pizzeria?
I never could.
You know, I mean, it was back in the days when
I could still do that.
You know, I guess
I
I
never
could say
could do
this. I
that.
first started,
Given the
experiencing
consumption
different kind of
of,
hive. Yeah.
depending on if I've either drank a lot or maybe consumed some of those chocolate things.
It was like eating the giant bone-in fillet at Shula's Steakhouse, where they put your name on the wall, or some other places
Oh yeah,
like that.
that 40 ounce. I never attempted that. They didn't let me.
Oh
in
wow,
that
even
joint.
you.
Well, Shula and I.
You know what amazed me when I was in New Orleans, though, and I know you don't like this place, but I was at Acme, right? And on the wall, they have the record setters for the most amount of oysters
Tom
consumed
T is up there, right?
at,
Oh,
one,
yes.
at one sitting.
Okay.
I think he tried one
And
time.
guys ate like 36 dozen oysters, and they weren't even at the top of the chart.
Yeah, that's.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
I can't
Those are
because
rich
if you
too.
eat that much of one thing, it usually.
That's like 432 oysters.
I like to say everything in moderation, and I mean everything, but in moderation. But if I couldn't sit
I
down
mean,
and I couldn't do more than a dozen oysters, nor would my
I could do more than a dozen if I put my mind to it.
no. And if you took all your indomethacine or whatever the gout medicine is, because
Oh, no,
if I
it's
ate more
guaranteed
than
gout, yeah.
if I ate more than let's
You get
say
gout in your head. I mean, at
Yeah.
that point, it
And-
doesn't even hit your toes.
yeah, brain gout is hard.
Right.
It's bad enough in the thumbs and the toes and the knees, but yeah,
Hey,
no.
Did you take a bite of this pizza?
No, I'm,
yet?
Right,
I'm
this is a
waiting
good
for it to
pizza.
cool
Lucas
down.
already chowing down.
It's funny. We
Okay,
talked
okay.
about this a lot. Mayo had sort of mocked Defo about ordering wrong. Like, again, you get to a place that is called Wicked Cheesesteaks, and the Wicked's for lobster rolls, cheesesteak in the title. Okay,
Right.
so that's what they're gonna be good at, right? The wings. Look, Nikki is from the islands, and he brought out a wing that's of a jerk kind of idea. Loved it. The pizza. Again, for a cheesesteak lobster roll place,
Yeah.
this is legit. Like if you were going out to have a New York slice, that's what it feels like to me. Like this
Again,
is like
it comes
a legit
back to
pizza.
Brian's background. He's a baker. He's making bread for restaurants all over town. You think he knows how to make some dough for
Yep.
a pretty tasty,
Yeah.
good pizza, and he's got that oven. It comes and bakes things to a nice crisp. So very versatile here. It's
Oh, and Tom T wants to
definitely-
make sure it's known he's eaten 32
32 dozen? Oh my God!
Stop it, Tom.
Is he on the wall there?
Are you kidding me?
That would have put him
That's
like
not a
way
thing.
down the bottom, like in the right-hand
But
corner.
yeah, on the wall.
You know.
Still.
32
32
dozen.
Well,
dozen.
yeah,
Wait,
like,
I gotta do
come
the
on.
math on that right now on my calculator.
32 dozen. It's
32
320 plus
320
64.
Yeah, it's like
No,
384.
320 times 12 is, yes.
No, that's not right.
I'm sorry.
It's not 3,000. 300.
384.
30.
No, it's
32
12
times 12, 32.
Yeah, it's 384.
384, but that's a
Defo, he's
lot
a
of
math
oysters.
whiz.
I eat like 12 and I'm good. Those
Wow.
are heavy.
384.
I mean, by the time you get to oyster number 268,
Oh, good. Oyster number
do you think it's
20
time
and I'm
for an
good.
intervention? I mean,
it's like me. You know, I've run a couple of, this is hard to believe, I've run a couple of half marathons in my life. And when I get done with the 13.1, I never end up saying,
Yeah, let me do
wow,
another half.
I wish I could do another 13.1 right now. I mean, that's the same concept. If like you're 190
you ran half
oysters
marathons?
in.
You
We
said
did
it the
not
other
know
day
this
and you
about
missed
you.
it. He
Yeah.
said it at the keel and
I
you missed it.
waddled
What
them.
year was this?
This was as recently as
1989.
2015, 16.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I actually,
Oh, good
This
for
was
you.
while you were the
I-
food critic at the
I
Sun
just
Sentinel?
as I was starting, and I just really let myself go. It's really bad.
It's easy to do. I mean, you know, the
Well,
tendency
I mean,
towards
they're throwing
laziness is
food at
definitely
you.
And
sometimes overwhelming.
it's
Pizza's real good.
Pizza's
I
good.
just,
Everything
got my
is
They're a
good.
really nice pizza, man.
I need some vegetables in my life, but that'll come later.
That'll be
in the
after
day.
Wicked Cheese.
After
Make a few
Wicked
salads at home. That would be my
Again, they do it
suggestion, yeah.
here, and we had the salad, and they do a really good job. But I wouldn't waste my calories on a salad
There's
here.
a couple of more things I wanted to talk about. Well, first of all, I just got to give the upcoming tomorrow. We're going to be at Gulfstream Park again. Defo, have you done your homework assignment? Well, you have
Yeah,
two
there's no-
assignments now. One is to try to line up and get one of our favorite jockeys
Luca,
to
yeah.
come on, Luca Panici, after the
He
first
won one
race.
yesterday.
And he's riding in the first race tomorrow when we're going to be on the air doing the show between 12 and 1 at Gulfstream Park. But then he has the rest of the afternoon. I don't think he has one till later in the day. So we'll try to get
Maybe
him on the
he'll come
show.
Yeah, I'll try.
We'll talk to him about racing and eating and how jockeys maintain their weight and still, are able to. A lot
Not
of them
eating half
do
a
like to
peanut.
cook and eat somewhat well.
You know, some guys, it's like anything. You know, some guys they're just naturally thin or whatever, and they make the weight very easily. Other guys, as the legendary struggles of Lafitte Pink Guy, well
Half
documented,
a peanut.
where he's eating half a peanut on his way to New York and the other half on the
What
way
the
back.
hell?
There is that stall. I used to do, a lot of work around the tracks there, so I often was changing or showering in the jocks room, and there's that one stall, for the heavers, where
Flippers, they call them flipping, right?
And they go in there and they,
Got to
For
make
the
weight.
heavers.
toss
Oh,
up their
Jesus.
lunch or whatever that they had, and it's a tough way to go, because
That's not great.
that's been a thing in horse racing for a while. I mean, is it almost cruel to have the weights be so low? Couldn't the horses handle a couple
Yeah,
more
yeah.
pounds
I mean,
of
you're
weight?
talking about 1,000 to 1,200 pound
Yes.
animals.
Yes.
So the
So making
incremental
a guy make
difference,
115,
yeah,
is-
How
115
big of a
as
deal is
opposed
to
to
the horse?
130, like
or even
130.
120.
horse
I mean,
doesn't
that's a
Yeah,
big
I mean,
difference there.
it's for the horse. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's
Yeah.
an
The horse doesn't.
incremental.
But if they raise it
amount.
5 pounds, it isn't necessarily going to, do any damage to the game or the
No,
animals. So.
but it's a very.
But it would help
tradition-
the jockeys out.
Yeah, it would,
Yeah,
it's
you would
very-
Because at those weights, which we haven't seen since we were 10,
Yeah.
but at those weights, like 115, 120, I knew a lot of boxers in that bantamweight category, and 4 pounds of difference was huge.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it seems cruel and unusual punishment to make them get down to that weight, but horse racing is a very tradition-bound sport, and they're slow to change. And I wish they would kind
Yeah.
of raise the
I
lower
think
weights.
Luca eats pretty much what he wants, though.
Well, that's good. He's
Yeah.
blessed. I do too, but I'm not a
Yeah,
jockey.
well, yeah, but I mean, and he could
Yeah,
still
but he
make like
looks like that,
118,
yeah.
whatever.
I can't. You could double that, and I have a hard
Still
time
more.
making
Yeah,
that these
'cause
days.
I've had dinner with Luca a couple of times at my friend Francesco's house, and I don't recall him holding back.
No.
It wasn't like he ate 2 bites of a salad and then excused himself.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Well, we'll hopefully get to catch up with him tomorrow at Gulfstream.
See what happens.
Second part of your assignment: have you been coming up with your the
Right.
question?
I have
trivia?
a trivia question in mind.
Thanks.
I'm not sure you're going to like it because
Well, we're gonna have to-
the place isn't of the magnitude of the places that you've had as answers so far.
Well, we want people to be able to answer.
but it
the
would not
question.
be
That helps.
something that people wouldn't know.
All right. So
Yeah.
I will. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
All right.
We'll have a whole fresh set of questions for the restaurant component.
You won't like it. Now that I'm
And-
thinking about it, you won't like it.
Of course, I won't. I'm going to make a face.
Of course, he's not gonna.
I don't
like
even
it.
know if you'll make a face. You'll just ignore it altogether. Yeah.
Well, we have to have a question. So we'll figure it out tomorrow. But the other component is coming up with the winner of, we're calling this week's feature race. Saturday's card has 5 stakes races.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But we're going to be doing the Fort Lauderdale Stakes. They should really name it the Visit Lauderdale Stakes, and we should get Necky and Dave Joseph together and get a
I think
little
Nicky's
sponsorship.
giving out the trophy.
I think it might be the Fort Lauderdale Handicap.
Okay.
It's the highest purse of the day, $200,000 stakes race. And it also is the biggest field of the day because they drew a full field of 12 with one also eligible. So 13 have drawn in on the overnights. We'll see what the final entries look like tomorrow. And then you'll send in the entries to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com, and we'll get to all that tomorrow.
I think this is tougher than hitting a mega Powerball.
Nah, people have been doing it.
People have been doing it.
Ties and shakes.
Yeah.
People haven't been choosing the winner necessarily, but at least they're getting the second place scores. So that's close enough. And then we do the drawing to break the ties, and it's going smoothly so far. So good to winning those. No
lawsuits.
No lawsuits. Okay. And
people got the stuff.
They win the 2 Sunday brunch passes at 10 Palms restaurant.
Great price.
The track. Great
really
place.
A great price.
And Brian's talking about maybe coming out. I didn't realize he's a
That'd
horse
be great.
player.
Now get him
Got to
out.
get our man Joey down there.
We got
to get Joey on a Friday to come down sometime. But that's and you should come out too. We're always on that front apron overlooking the track there, kind of right. I'd say maybe about 100 yards north of the finish line there, out on the apron at Gulfstream Park. Come on out. We got to do another break, and we got to do another commercial. Tropical Acres.
Tropical Acres. What's happening, man, for New Year's? There?
Well, they're going to be having their typical.
They're open New Year's Eve, right?
Open New Year's Eve, closed on Sunday, New Year's Day.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're having a late seating going up to midnight. I think they're keeping their usual hours, but you can get seated up till 10 o'clock at night and then linger a little bit. They'll have some live music, the piano going. They'll have the regular steak menu along with probably a couple of holiday specials, that good prime rib that they always have, along with lobsters and seafood. And it's a great place to celebrate ringing in a new year. And also a great place for any occasion, any weeknight. You go in there, the happy hour in the bar, 4:30 to 6:30, get those great half-price drinks, anything in the joint, including the upscale happy.
Look out.
Oh, look at that. Brian has dropped in now the new cheesesteak here, and that is called...
That looks powerful.
That is called the Italian Stallion. And is loaded up with pepperoni.
It's Rocky Balboa written all over.
I'm going to hold it up to the people. You can't... There we go. We got
and steaming
pepperoni, sausage. What kind of cheese? A provolone. Mozzarella blend, and some marinara sauce blended in there. I think this one might be that's it. This is the one that's going to do it for me. I can't wait to get it right over the top. But hey, Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road, just west of the airport, 995 in Dania Beach, Old Fort Lauderdale. It's open every day but Sunday. Go in there. The Studio Alley family, they've been doing it a long time. The place has been around since 1949. They pride themselves on great hospitality, great service, great quality, and most of all, great value. Go to Tropical Acres. Half-price wine night, Monday, Tuesday nights. And they also have the loyalty card. So for every 13 entrees every 12 entrees that you buy, free. Get the 13th
the old
for
Baker's
free.
dozen. Yeah, nice.
So they treat you well. Tropical Acres, tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, I know you're going to be diving into that. That looks fantastic.
I'm going for the middle cheesy one.
Of course,
I'm wondering at what point this family starts fighting
like
in the car. I mean, on the way up or on the way back?
They look like a very happy family.
Yeah, great. Well, I mean,
actually like well behaved.
Did you guys enjoy yourselves here? You got the cheesesteaks.
My brother and sister.
Oh man, look, they come here every time.
They said every time they're here, they go.
Wow, that's awesome.
Smart people over here.
They know what they're doing.
All right, we'll come back and wrap this up. I don't know if Mayo's going to be able to speak. He may go into. Should we call Holy Cross and reserve him a room?
Right there.
For the diabetic coma this guy's going to be in. We'll be back to finish things off in a moment.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studio Alley family, along with great value for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
We're back on the Lunchbox. I can't believe how much I'm eating today.
I think that's great, that family that was next
Family,
to us.
they're
off
heading up to Orlando. They
So
are.
it's like 1 o'clock. They'll be there by
family.
4.
Some are rooting
Maybe
for the
even less,
Knolls.
actually.
Most
I think
are
it'll
rooting
take
for
less
the
time.
Sooners of Oklahoma.
Good luck, yeah.
And they're going to be going to the Cheez-It Bowl. And,
Yes.
everybody got to say Cheez-It. I'm saying cheese right now because.
All right, what do you think of this
Okay,
thing?
this Italian
Yeah.
stallion
Give us
is
a little description.
it is
here.
a flavor bomb. Oh my God, it's knocking my socks off. It's got the melty cheesy
Now, did you
stuff.
throw a little hot sauce on there too?
I did not. It doesn't
No?
need anything
Right.
because that
Yeah,
pepperoni,
the pepperoni has a little
and
kick.
the sausage has a little kick. So
Yep.
Beautiful.
I don't need, and he has it blended in a little bit of marinara sauce. It's like the best thing. It's like kind of a combination of an Italian hero, like I
Yes.
used to get in Brooklyn, where you got that melted mozzarella cheese and also provolone with the sauce, but then you've got little bits of the nice fresh chopped ribeye
Yep.
along with the sausage gives it a little kick. The pepperoni gives it a kick, and
Yeah.
I'm just going in. I'm going to eat the rest of it.
Yeah, it's a
You
nice
do,
flavor.
You do what you got to do there. I'm going.
All right. You've got a thing here that we need to promote, though.
Oh, yeah.
So you might want to just disengage there for a
The
second.
Visit Lauderdale? Well,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, that's what's cool about
All
Wicked
right, we'll
Cheesesteaks
get
is an
the Heimlich
embodiment
maneuver going on Mayo, people.
of
as,
South Florida.
he tries
And
to.
I
I
told
couldn't
you
help
Visit
myself.
Lauderdale.
It's so good, and it's warm and hot, and it's just
yeah,
staring
no,
me
it
in
looks,
the
it looks
face.
fantastic.
And I'm totally shirking my responsibilities.
Yeah.
I can
Bad
tell Visit
Mike,
Lauderdale
bad
all
Mike.
day.
I'm so glad that
What's going
Nikki
on
got
with
in
these
here
guys?
last
In the
month.
breweries, the
Greater
great
Fort
restaurants, there's so
Lauderdale.
much going on down here.
Visit Lauderdale. They welcome everyone under the sun.
Yeah.
And that means all you foodies out there,
Yes.
you already know.
Go
The
Sooners.
culinary explorers,
Sooners.
cocktail connoisseurs, the craft beer aficionados, come one, come all, and get ready to savor every flavor and every moment in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Tell all your friends, tell all your relatives, tell all your frenemies, tell anybody that you went to high school with, especially if it was up north. Tell them to come on down here this winter because this is
Yes.
the place to be, not just for the beach and the warmth and the sun, but for the food scene.
Yes.
From dockside dining with the breathtaking views, lively cafes along Los Olas Boulevard, to award-winning chefs serving up every cuisine imaginable, including our friend Timon Boulou and his wife Marissa at the Catherine. He reached out yesterday. He gave me a phone call and he just wanted to thank us for all we've done.
Yeah, they were great. Man.
And just trying to help, all the small independent mom and pop shops like Wicked Cheesesteaks and the small independent run upscale fine restaurants like the Catherine, because that's what Greater Fort Lauderdale is all about. We got such a great food scene here. So come stay and play in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Discover the taste sensations at more than 4,000 area restaurants. Explore the thrilling nightlife scene with the rooftop terraces, the Visit Lauderdale L Trail, hidden speakeasies, expert mixologists serving up great cocktails, and we'll be imbibing on those at the festival, at the Cocktail Clash that night competition on Wednesday, January 11th. It's a never-ending culinary celebration in Greater Fort Lauderdale, and everyone's invited. So please, if you want to get the latest in the events, happenings, promotions, deals, go to visitlauderdale.com.
All right, Louis had to recue the music there, but well-delivered message by
All right,
Mike
there you
Mayo.
go.
Well-delivered food here by
Yes.
Brian at Wicked Cheesesteaks, just south of Commercial Boulevard
Yeah,
on
it's
the
very easy
east
to find.
side of Federal Highway. Very easy access and across the street from Holy Cross Hospital. So there's your landmark. You can find this place very easily.
I'm devouring this.
Well worth the trip in. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap one up here and get it out of here. Always a great time. One of my favorite spots on the tour here.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Wicked Cheesesteaks. Always overwhelmingly pleased. The lobster quesadilla was
great.
phenomenal. And they treat you right here at Wicked Cheesesteaks.
He just kept
thanks for
topping
having us in.
himself one
Yeah.
after another. I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
And the pizza's
cheesesteak,
great.
egg
Today's a
roll,
pizza
the
special,
lobster
so check it
quesadilla, and then this bomb.
From the
of
minute
a-
we walked in, yeah, and then the black and whites there, and he's got the moon pies,
Yep.
actual moon pies. But great place. They got a big special, $8.99 on the
Small
12-inch
cheese pizza.
pizza today, and it was delicious. One slice was enough, and
the
and
cheesesteak
it's
in
enough
here
to
good?
feed like several people. Fantastic.
Excellent. Thanks
All
for covering for me as I chewed up all my
Gulfstream
cheese.
Park tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Pick
we'll
the
see you
winners.
Gulfstream. Come check
Tomorrow,
us out.
coming out to Wicked Cheesesteaks again, 4826 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of Commercial Boulevard. Thanks to Brian. Thanks to Defo. Thanks to Lubie.
Yes, sir.
And
Happy
I'm
New Year,
Mike
man.
Mayo.
Yeah.
I'm going to say enjoy every sandwich and enjoy every Italian stallion wicked cheesesteak sub.